I'm Tom, and over there we got a nice guy named Till.
Hello.
With our special guest, awesome guy, and all-around friend, Tejay.
Yeah.
And, so, you're a student here at Seneca College.
Yeah.
I was meant to pass that over to Attilia, but I'm just going to run with this. I like to talk a lot. But welcome on the show. I'm glad you're here.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, no, this is sort of a special show because it is earlier in the morning, but I think that's good because we're primed and ready. We're ready to go to talk about some cool stuff. Speaking of cool stuff, if you don't know, we just had an open house. Did you guys get to go to that?
No. I was here for that, yesterday. I just wanted to see what the acting group was going to do. Yeah. Turns out it was an improv show. And,
improv.
It got dark.
Oh, man. Wow.
Right at the end, maybe I shouldn't go into it, but it just got it was funny for a long time, and then right at the end, it was not quite comfortable with the person being strapped to a hospital bed. Anyway, I checked that there was performing happening in the cafe here with, I only saw one lady, her and her guitar. Sounded nice, just folk kind of music.
We're definitely going to talk about the open house a little bit more when we get into the news, but I do want to just say, looking at all the campuses, because I was running around from the campus to campus, you could see such a difference in this campus compared to all the other ones.
All the other ones, yeah.
I didn't get to see the start of the open house here because I was already on my way to Newnham, which is very, there's a lot of people. It's very crowded. It's large.
It's huge.
Yeah, right? So it was very outgoing. A lot of people talking and yelling at each other, in a good way.
Yeah.
And so that was cool. And we didn't get to actually be in the middle of it because of Wi-Fi reasons. But from there, we went to Markham, and oh my, everybody was in a suit. It was so professional. It's in a business building. It used to be a business building, and it seriously I felt out of a fish out of water sort of thing. It was very strange because I was just in what I'm in now actually.
Yeah.
Just a black T-shirt with Say Radio on it, and it was something else. And then I came here, and there's a guy on guitar playing in the cafeteria, and I was like, this is where I belong.
This is my home. Yeah. This is where I'm welcome. Yeah.
But when you were at Newnham, did you get lost?
I did. We only went into one building.
I got in my fourth semester here in the winter semester reading week. We had to broadcast the basketball tournament that was happening.
Right.
There were signs everywhere saying what direction, what chunk of it was the A, B, C, D floors or however it's laid out. I forget. I was there at 6:30 in the morning because our call was at 7, and it was a nightmare. That campus is so confusing. It's like a labyrinth.
That's crazy. But let's get right into the most important part of the day, which is introduction. Yeah, of course. But the second most important part of the day, which is, of course, introducing our guest, Tejay here.
Yeah.
Welcome, Tejay.
It is, in fact, jam time.
Yeah.
Jam time.
The man with the golden voice, as we call him. Because if you can't hear him, he's beautiful.
I got a deep voice.
If you can't hear him, first of all, please turn the microphone on.
Turn the mic up. Yeah,
exactly. Thanks for coming on. You're part of what program?
I was part of the acting for voice and camera at Seneca.
Nice. And did you? How was that? Obviously you worked with Till here, and
it was definitely from graduating and seeing how the industry works. I find the program was really well put together.
Nice.
I got a lot from it, a lot of experience,
Have you been in touch with teachers at all, or any sort of the faculty members afterwards? Other than, of course, one. You can't say zero because I'm pointing to one right now.
Yeah. Oh, you can roast me all you want. It's fine.
No.
If you don't, I will. It's okay.
I did receive an email from Mark a while ago.
Shoutouts to Mark.
Shoutouts to Mark.
Yes.
Boss Mark. He kind of wanted us to update as to what was going on and how it was going, but I haven't responded yet.
I do find that difficult for myself as well. I'll get an email and I'll be like, you know what? I'm doing something right now. It's not a text. It's not something that I can just type out really fast, And when I see an email, it's very intimidating. I have to respond to my boss or something. I need to make sure there is no mistakes in this.
No mistakes. Yeah, I'm gonna get graded after graduating.
I get that from my high school every couple of months. It's what are you up to? Because we have a Facebook page for the alumni.
Oh wow, really?
And they do a newsletter for it. So I was I work for Seneca. And I freelance a little. Woo!
That's really cool. I don't think I've actually ever gotten an email from my high school. That I think about it.
High school, eh?
Yeah. No, my high school was very small. I lived in a very rural area, out in Bradford.
Okay,
so it was, it was very close.
Land of the carrots.
Exactly. Sorry. We did celebrate carrots every year.
Wow. There used to be a lot of rabbits there.
Yeah. No. I mean, they produce like rabbits. Let's just say that.
Okay.
Yeah. There's a lot of I won't go too much into that. But yeah, no, it was a great time. But that's crazy to me. You just, even saying that and me hearing it, it's like, I can't even imagine my high school emailing me and be like, hey, you still doing good?
Yeah.
It's like, once I got my paper, they were like, yo, peace. Your paper.
Yeah. No, well, I find like the industry of acting is based on networking.
Yeah, very true.
And it's such a self-motivating career, and it's good to have other people, just checking in and seeing what you're doing. Even if you're not doing anything, it kind of gives you that feeling you should be doing something.
Yeah, and I think that's important for any sort of industry, especially for the acting and the media, because when it comes down to it, if we're just all sort of by ourselves, we're not going to get anywhere, right?
No. Yeah.
As an actor, other people who are gonna get hired, and then they'll come to you because they think you'll fit the role, or any sort of which way or in another. It's a solo thing because obviously you're supporting yourself mainly.
Yeah.
But I think that's not even a bad thing. A lot of people sort of put that stereotype and put yourself first in a bad way, but I really don't think it is, because if we're all looking after ourselves, then we have time to look after each other as well.
Of course, 100%. Even going into auditions, there's this idea that you're competing with the other guy next to you. So when you go into the audition room, you're seeing all these. You're like, that guy, he kind of looks like me, or, you know what I mean, or that girl can play my kid, or. So you go in there with this idea that you're competing, and you are competing to a certain degree. But I find the mentality that works for me is to be grateful and thankful.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And there is a competition value of it, but there's also you have to stay in your own skin and not really worry about what's going on with the other person.
It's true.
So I think the zone of mentality is being grateful is what helps me avoid that.
Yeah. You fail together, you succeed together, right?
Exactly.
Right. So that's definitely a great thing to have. Until you just look like he mind exploded there.
A little bit. Yeah. It might be the monster, but we'll roll with it. It's fine. I find that and this is the only program I work. This is the only speech I have. But I find you guys leave here kind of set up pretty well to get out there and get going. Because you leave with your reels and you leave set up on casting workbook, and you just go and try and hunt down work right away, which is. I think that's a strength of the program. Has that helped you out at all?
Oh, 100%. And casting workbook was actually what got me my agent.
Oh, good. Oh, cool.
That's awesome. So when I graduated, I was in talks with 2 top agencies in Toronto.
Nice.
Noble Kaplan Abrams and Jerry Jordan Associates.
Nice.
But unfortunately, they didn't pan out.
Right.
Noble Kaplan said I wasn't a fit for his roster, and Jerry Jordan said come back in the fall.
Just the acknowledgement, though, is
really good. Yeah. And that's sort of what the program has brought to me and has given to me upon graduating. It's I got those opportunities. The agency I'm with right now actually reached out to me through Casting Workbook and through the Casting Workbook launch for the Seneca students.
Nice.
So when you graduate from the program, you can get an email from an agency being like, hey, I saw your demo reel and I really want to, interview you or see some more of your work.
Cool,
or,
for sure.
And was that a result of the industry night, or was that just at the end of after they finish, they do industry night, which is they rent out Carlton Cinemas downtown, and they run the demo reels, and people can invite the agents and people check it out. It's this is us, this is what we can do.
That's awesome.
And then they just stand around and talk for a while after. So I know some people from your group got picked up for modeling stuff as well. So just how we got into that was from the guys that you're with now. Was that a result of that, or just through work?
No, the first 2, Jerry Jordan was a result of the industry night because we showcased their demo reels.
Yeah.
Noble Kaplan was a sort of liaison. One of the teachers was communicating and saying, hey, check this guy out. And DWM was actually just from, that's my agency right now, DWM Management. That was from actually the launch of, like I said,
the Seneca group
casting workbook. Yeah.
That's really cool. So definitely Seneca not even just, I love Seneca and I love it here, but I think in Toronto in general and even Canada, so we sort of cultivated this thought of like we're in it together, and it's not just about the paper. Like getting the diploma is not what is important anymore.
Oh,
it's,
100%.
right?
Yeah.
Like it's sad to say that the paper you get at the end of your schooling is not really important, right? It only symbolizes the accomplishments you've made during that time and what you've done with that time, right?
Oh, 100%, 100%, and that is the worst mentality you can get into when you're in college. One, because you're paying for an education, and a lot of the times people think, I just want the answers to the test, or I just want the answers to these questions, and in reality, you're actually wasting your own money, because you go to these programs to learn a specific tool and sort of understand that tool and be able to apply it when you leave. Whereas if you're just going here for the marks and the grades, you're just going to leave with those marks and not have any of the tools with you, right?
Exactly. So, just for instance, I'm coming up to my 4th semester now, and one of my teachers, he has a course that you can be a part of, which he said, which is a good course. You learn a lot of information on it. It's about marketing. But he said, like, if you show up and if you do the stuff, you're going to if you read the book, because the course is based on a book, right?
Yeah.
You'll be fine. And I was like, teacher, I'm sorry, I don't want to take your course, but can I buy the book? Like, can I just get the book from you? Like, it's so much information. Like, obviously, the whole course is based on this book. I don't want to spend a whole semester reading a book when I could do it on my own time and then go somewhere else for no extra charge. Right. To take a whole nother class and get that experience that way. And just like that, taking all these opportunities to do small shows on the side, and any sort of volunteering that comes up. I know teachers, and at least in my program, probably in yours as well, sends out emails about extracurricular stuff all the time, right?
All the time.
And I can't say that I've always been a part of them, but I think those things are important to take advantage of when possible and when they fit the needs that you want to get out of it, right?
100%. Yeah.
So like just like the open house where it's extra, we got paid, but like it's a Saturday night. And it's also the day after my birthday. I didn't want to come.
Yeah.
I wanted to be hungover,
sleeping in bed. Yeah.
But you make those sacrifices because this is a career that I'm interested in, and I'm sure you've made all those sort of sacrifices as well. Everybody has, Attilio as well. He's only had gain.
Don't lie, Attilio.
I got pretty lucky. That's really all there is to it on my end of this.
No, that's true. I mean, you're doing great now, so I can't.
Oh, geez. Thanks, Dr. Phil.
I mean, I think that's where it comes down to is like it's luck, but in a certain degree, you might not be conscious of it, but you've been paying your dues. And I think that's what any profession comes down to is just sort of learning the craft and paying your dues.
It's true, because as much as you might say, like, I am the best, and why didn't I get this role because I'm the best, and that person wasn't as good as me. It's if you keep on putting yourself out there and showing who you are, the opportunity will arise. Right? Yeah. And if you stop and have that defeatist mindset and you're like, I didn't get it, and you're spiteful because like they didn't pick me, they thought that person was better, and that's stupid.
Oh, I have a good story about that. I have a really good story.
Yeah, it's like you can't have that attitude because they're not better. They're just different. Yeah. They're another person, and they're also doing their best to get into this industry. And if you're showing that defeatist attitude, they don't win, but they're going to get the next role as well. Like, if it's just a one-on-one here, like, they're going to look for the person who wants to get in no matter what. Right?
Yeah. 100%.
So I think that is an important thought that people should have, especially in post-secondary. Sadly, I find a lot of people sort of wane from it. In high school, they're like, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, no matter what, I'm going to be the best. And then they realize that they're not the best, and it sort of like kicks them down a notch, right?
Yeah.
But besides that, I do want to hear the story, because this sounds really interesting.
Oh, yeah. So this is just on like not holding grudges and how important it is. I went for an audition, and it was for Project, I think it's called Project University, which means it's a non-union audition.
It's a sequel to Project X.
Yeah. No, well, all commercials for non-union are marked Project in the name, so they don't actually tell you what it is.
Right. Okay.
And the audition was we went into a room with 2 other people, and we were controlling we were fixing this $1 million machine together.
Wow.
right? And this machine is supposed to go into the water and fix this broken oil valve. And I was like the commander, and I felt really good about the audition after, because I was like, Phil, this thing is about to go. Come on, we need to move it. 12 gauges, and I'm using all these terms, and the director's like, that's a very good job. You did a great job, and I'm walking out. I'm like, I think I got it.
Yeah.
So fast forward 2 days later, I get a call, or actually that same day, my agent calls me and he's like, TJ, you're on hold for this commercial, which means you're under high consideration. And I'm thinking I got it, right?
Yeah.
So 2 days later pass, and I get a call from my agent. I have another audition, but I didn't get Project University.
Oh, no.
So, I'm like, what? I came really close. That's cool. So I'm heading to this other audition, and I get out of the car, and I'm walking to the auditioning room. And this guy comes up to me. He's like, yo, man, what's up? And he's like, this older guy kind of looks at me, and he goes, I got the part.
Oh, wow.
I got the part. And I'm like, I'm sorry, I don't really know who you are, right? He's like, I didn't say that, but I was like, oh, yeah, congratulations. What part did you get? And he's like, I got Project University.
Oh, wow.
So he got the part that I was on hold for, and then there we were together in the same room auditioning for the same role again. But that role, I was happy for him. But that role, I got that role that I auditioned for.
Yeah. That's awesome.
That day, right?
Oh, wow.
So it was kind of like I was in that room, and I could have let him getting the part affect me. But I found that I tried to switch it to be like more happy for him. So I think it's.
And it really could have, too. Like, a lot of people would have found that themselves in that situation where it's just like, oh, this guy, he's like, I can't believe look at this guy. His nose is too big.
Yeah. His nose is too,
Right, like, you'll find that littlest thing, and you'll just harp on it no matter what, because, like, that is the reason. It's not because you didn't do as well or he is just, he's a better fit. It's because there has to be a reason.
There is,
Right? And that's what everybody sort of has to come to terms with, where it's not like just different people for different roles. We all are here to do our best, and just because you don't make it necessarily doesn't mean you're never going to.
100%.
Right.
Well, that's the thing they bring up in the audition class. One of the professors, the only one I've worked with, Brian, he said even if you don't get it, if you do the work and you stand out, they'll call you back for something if you put yourself in their mind.
Yeah, actually, that audition that I got, when I went into the audition room, the director's like, there was another lady auditioning for a cop.
Oh, wow.
So the director asked me to play a traumatized woman for this girl, because she was supposed to be a cop. So I was helping her audition, and I played this woman, and then they're like, okay, I want you to go psycho killer. Okay, psycho killer. And I didn't get the role that I auditioned for, but they gave me another part. In the
that's
TV
really
show.
awesome.
Yeah.
And that just sort of shows like you're not holding yourself down by using grudges, and you're putting yourself out there, and that's what it's all about, right?
Good work shines through. Like, I've heard stories of again from the audition and also from one of the professors I work with. They're like, if you go to the audition for the part and say, well, you're not right for this, but I like what you're doing, maybe we could write something for you and have you in a small bit.
Yeah.
Or we can cast you as this other guy who's not this character, but we think you'd fit for it. Want to try for that?
You could be other guy number 2.
Yeah.
We just wrote in for you.
You make an impression. It could be years down the line.
Yeah.
You think, I remember this guy, and he could like play this role so well.
Yeah.
They'll call you. They have your numbers like as soon as you go for the audition, right?
Networking.
Yeah.
It really is networking. It really is.
Other than that one small fact that I just said, I don't know anything about auditioning. So I was wondering if you could acknowledge me.
For sure.
Not acknowledge me. Enlighten me. Don't acknowledge me. My pride's too
Oh
big
yeah.
for that.
I will enlighten you. No. You know what? The biggest challenge with auditions and getting an agency is if you're supporting yourself, if you have a daytime job, it's really hard to balance both of them. Like I've recently just lost my job because I was going to so many auditions, and it's been a sort of crossroad and a decision to make. But yeah, so like the way it works, maybe the day before, your agent will be like, hey, audition tomorrow, check your email. So you check your email, and it'll be like, it's for project this, you need to wear this, and this is the commercial, you got to be there at this time. So you go in, and then you fill out the forms, and you walk in. You don't generally know exactly what you're going to be doing.
Okay.
Unless it's for a specific role, but if it's for like a commercial or something, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Do you get the script the day before? Like, is it enough time to like know what you're going to be saying, or is it just sort of like put on the spot?
This goes back to an auditioning class. You know, like they tell you, you know, the teachers at Seneca always tell you, they're like, you know, you can get a script the night before or 48 hours, you know, and you have to, you know, have it memorized or polished.
Yeah.
Whereas that in Seneca, you know, we have a week, 2 weeks. You know, 3 weeks, and you get used to that. Yeah.
There's also the thing, apparently, with the voiceover stuff that if you get called in, well, they'll hand you a script and say you're up in 15 minutes.
Wow.
And you just learn it and figure out how you're going to approach it and then go.
Yeah, you have to.
According to one of the professors that I've worked with.
That's crazy. So you just sort of have to like find the cadence in your head, how exactly you're going to say it, what they're trying to say with the script.
Yeah.
Because like words can mean a lot of different things.
100%.
The same words, right? So it's like,
which is why it's great that they do that here.
Yeah. They do that. Yeah. I would say I'm very happy with the training I've received at Seneca, and I'm very thankful for the teachers. Yeah, definitely.
I've been to school before. I think we've touched on this a little bit. Once before Seneca. I went to Fanshawe College for Police Foundation / Private Investigations, and it was the main campus, right? And it was very large. There was a lot of people. Like we had first year at 300 students in one program, right? So it was a lot of people. It was all lecture classes, and like. It slowly whittled down over the years. Like the final year, I think we had 60 graduates or something like that. But still, like it was very businessy. It was very this is where you're going to be. We had uniforms we had to wear to class because you know, professional looking. Private investigation is very close knit, and you do want to put your best foot forward no matter what. If the guest presenter came in for some reason, you have to look good, right? They're going to remember the one person that's not, you know, sharpest looking, and they're going to be like, well, that guy didn't show up to class, and how is he going to come to my thing? Like, I'm not going to hire him.
It's true,
right?
It's true, yeah.
Because there's 300 other people I can pick from. So it's sort of weird coming from that to when I first walked into Seneca, I actually had no idea what it looked like. I didn't know. I know York because of James and my brother, and I came to see him a few times. But I only saw the other side of the campus.
Yeah.
And I walked on to Seneca, and I seriously, like, the first thought I had was, "Is this high school? Like, is this a high school building?"
Yeah.
It's so small, but I think that's almost a good thing because you don't get lost, and it is almost like a high school feeling where your teachers, they know you, they care about you, and you might not all get along, but generally speaking, we're all here for each other, right? They're not here just for a paycheck. You know, teachers don't get paid an exorbitant amount here, right? Which is, it's sort of, I think I'm not going to say that they shouldn't get paid more, but because they're not paid a large amount, the people that want to teach are the ones that get hired. They want to teach because they want to be a teacher. They're not looking to make the big bucks, right? So that sort of speaks on the personalities you find here at Seneca, right? Unlike Fanshawe, or other big campuses, I'll say, not Fanshawe specifically, where they get paid a little bit more. It's a bigger college. So, a lot of people are doing this job as well as teaching, but they don't really seem to care, I'd say, as much.
I think it's also a fact that this is an arts campus.
Very true, right? And arts is a passion.
It's not
throughout life.
It's not as cut and dry as business is.
Not as factual.
It's not all ones and zeros. There's shades of gray here. So, like, the people that teach it love what they're doing. It's not just, like I said, it's not numbers. It's not just papers of information. Well, it is.
You know how I used to fall asleep? Reading the Criminal Code of Canada.
Oh, wow.
Because we had to know everything about it. And there's really interesting, just a little tidbit here. Oh. It is still illegal to practice witchcraft if you're not a witch in Canada. It's illegal.
So you can become an actual witch?
If you're a witch, it's fine. But you can't pretend to practice witchcraft.
Wow.
There go my Saturdays.
I think, if I remember correctly, and if I'm jogging my memory here, it is statute 365 as well. So look it up.
365.
Yeah.
I would Google it, but my phone's over there recording us right now.
Oh, yes.
It's fine. I'll look it up after. It is really interesting. And if you're looking to fall asleep, the criminal code is something to read.
That's my nightcap to go to sleep?
No, exactly.
Criminal code?
I couldn't even get past a page.
Pardon.
No, yeah. But getting back to Seneca, I've had a great experience here, and I think we've all sort of can sort of have that statement where this is a school where you get a lot of support, not just during, but after as well. And weekends, like I have all my teachers' cell phone numbers. I could text them if I have an issue with anything, and they would totally be okay with it as long as, they weren't busy. But that's understandable. If I get text and, I'm busy, I'm not going to answer it either.
No, 100%.
That's just a normal thing.
For sure, yeah.
And sadly, I don't know about you guys, and you can sort of speak on your experience through your program, because we've all sort of been to different sections, right? But I find a lot of people that come to my program, not necessarily now, first semesters especially, they don't really know what they want to do yet. And not only that, but they don't have a want to know. They're just sort of there to, because that's the thing their parents want them to do. They want them to go to school, so they're there.
Well, I came here, I was part of the small group of people in my program that didn't really know. Because I came here, I think I said before, I came here to be in the music program.
Right.
But I didn't get in. I got into TV, and I got into jazz percussion in Hummer, but this was much closer. So I picked here. And I figured I'd just do the first year, get credits, and then try again for music, and I ended up kind of loving it. So I stuck with it. It was lucky. But for the most part, in the TV at least, people knew that they wanted to get into some form of production, and that's why they were here. And hopefully it's the same for acting. I haven't really come across anyone who didn't know what they wanted.
Oh, yeah?
I mean, I think, you get a lot of those people in the program. One, acting can be like a childhood dream.
Yeah, for sure.
And it can be, you can have all the nice visions of what acting is and on the forefront of your head, and then I join a program for acting and still have these visions. But I do believe that there has to be a want. I do believe in anything you do, there has to be a want and a hunger. And I find that, there's some people in the classes that I've had that, like you said, just, might not have the same hunger, or might not have... But everybody's at a different stage in their life.
Right. And this is nothing bad against them.
No. Not at all.
They're just, they're looking for their way, and hopefully, some people I know that have found their way after they've left this program. I know one of my friends from first semester went to TV, Satomi, she got an award from it the next semester.
Nice.
So that's awesome, right? And there are those experiences where it's not because you don't know, but maybe you didn't get into it. I applied for TV when I first came here. I found a love for radio.
I forgot about that.
Yeah. I was originally going to be a TV student, but I got into radio and fell in love with it the first day. Meeting Jim Carr and Jim Craig. That Jim Craig probably. Jim Craig.
Jimbo.
Yeah. and the teachers, they sort of put this, and I'm sure it's the same thing for your guys' program, but they put this attitude towards their passion, because they're all passionate towards their career, that it's you want to be like that. I want to have that happiness that they've found in this path, and they really do show it. And I think that's really important as well. I'm going to stop saying that word that I keep on describing.
Important?
No, really.
Oh,
really?
I don't want to say it anymore.
That's all right.
But yeah, no, it's just overall, if you don't know what Seneca is, this is sort of going on the same topic of we had the open house yesterday, so I did want to talk a little bit more about the actual college, and if you are thinking about going, these are the things that we've experienced, because, and it may be biased, but I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing, because we have that bias because of our good experiences.
Yeah.
Right? So, anyways, that's it for... I'm not going to say any more about open house. We're going to play a little bit of music. We're going to talk to Tejay a little bit more about his lifestyle and his auditions and everything about that, and a little bit about news. So be ready for that. Right now, I'm going to play some LMFAO with Sexy, and I Know It. Here on Say Radio, the voice of Seneca College. Say Radio, the voice of Seneca College. I'm Tom, and we have here with Till, and of course, our special guest, Tejay, today. Let's get into a little bit of news stories. These are going to be really, really quick ones. There's not too much going on as far as releases or too much information, but there are some important things to know about. So first, Jimi Hendrix's birthday is today. That's, I think, pretty important just because he was such an iconic character.
I mean, I'm going to celebrate it.
Yeah, with hopefully not a headband with something underneath it.
Yeah, jam time.
Another headband.
It's jam time.
Oh, there you go. Man, it's real.
Yeah, so his birthday was today. If you don't know, celebrate that. Listen to some amazing music because it really, like, you can feel the passion and the excitement that he puts into the music, which is sad to say that I don't hear too often. As far as rock goes, it seems to be very cookie cutter. The indie scene is thriving.
Well,
but
to be fair, he was revolutionary.
It's very true. It's very true. Yeah,
that's kind of why he stood out.
So happy birthday, Jimi Hendrix. You're the man.
Rest in power.
Rest in power. As well, Ron Glass died today. He was Barney from Firefly, if you don't know. And so he's died at 71, sorry. And so that's a bit sad. I wasn't a huge fan of Firefly. It was a really cool story, and the sci-fi aspect was always interesting to me, but it always just was a little bit much to watch. I don't know, like, if you guys tried to, like, there's a lot of Firefly, right?
I didn't watch Firefly. I think it was like 13 episodes or something. Like, it was a short and then cut off series that was huge among its fans. My barometer for fandom is Community. Like, where everyone who likes it really, really likes it and, like, worships it. But, like, I never watched it. I don't know.
True.
No, we did a scene for my demo reel.
You did, yeah.
You were from Firefly, but I've actually never watched the show.
Wow.
I remember that. You used a tripod as a gun. That was exciting.
Yeah, that was exciting.
Oh, man.
So lastly, this is the last death of today that we're going to talk about anyways. This is Fidel Castro. And the controversy not only over his death, but the Twitter sphere is blowing up because of the statements that Justin Trudeau, the Prime Minister of Canada, has said towards his death. People are getting very, very upset because he sort of talked him in a good light. And sort of...
How dare he?
Right.
Yeah, I know.
And it was sort of a bit strange where normally if Twitter blows up and, all these social medias blow up, it's because someone says something bad. But this was like, he said decent things. It wasn't that he was saying he was my best friend and like we hung out. It was like he was a decent leader. And I'm not knowledgeable enough about Fidel Castro and his rule. Yeah. But I think in death, especially as a politician, especially as prime minister, you do sort of need to take a stance. And usually a good one, because otherwise you're hating, and that's not good either. I think out of the two options, either hate on Fidel or say decent things, I think it's the more responsible thing to just say the decent things. It's not.
He was in the right to, like, it's not. You're not going to slam someone after they've died and say they sucked at their job, right?
Yeah. Exactly.
Just doing the correct thing, I think. I don't know why people are offended by it.
It's pretty big. Like, that is all over Twitter today. Like, I was trying to find news for this show, and like, it's either that or Donald Trump. And those are two.
We already beat that one to the ground a couple weeks ago.
It's true. I was telling TJ how we had to walk on nails when we were doing that.
Talking about Donald Trump.
It wasn't that bad.
No, it was fun. It was actually a great conversation. So that's it for news today, because there's not too much. No releases that I can find, unless you have a favorite album that we're not talking about. In which case, yell at us on Facebook or something, because that's the best way to get our attention.
Well, The Weeknd just put one out like in the last few days, right?
Last weekend.
Sorry,
that was a bad joke.
Sorry, who do you say?
The Weeknd.
Okay, yeah, I was going to say it's not The Weekend. The Weeknd.
Oh, jeez.
The Weeknd.
The people who do ritual, that's the Wiccans.
Canadian too, so you're going to hear a lot of him for a long time to come, because CanCon is important.
Yes,
says some company.
I'm also really excited that Gambino has this new one coming out on Friday coming up. I'm very excited.
That is actually important. I totally forgot about that. The singles that he's been releasing,
which don't sound like anything he's done before. It's just all like old style funk. Oh my god, I'm excited.
There's like a bit of choir into it. There's some funk. It is so interesting. Yeah,
I want it.
And it's sort of, I think, Childish Gambino, he sort of changed the way he performs a lot with camp compared to the internet, or because of the internet, and even now, like, this is it's a huge leap, but it's almost not surprising for him, because I think he is trying to find what his sound is still, which is not a bad thing, because he is good at the other stuff that he's done, and I really love some of his work from camp and because of the internet. But I think this is also another thing that he is good at.
The thing is that he's a performer. Mm-hmm. He's what's the term? Like a Renaissance man. He did comedy, and he was writing at like 21 to 22 for 30 Rock. That's ridiculous. Yeah. And like I found out about him through Community because, hey, fan. But like camp was fine, and then because the internet happened, where he lived it for a long time, like doing the talk shows, whatever. He was the boy who was the character in the screenplay that goes with the song. That also is a little bit of a video on YouTube. I think it's like a half-an-hour short film about that character as well.
Wow!
And he lived it. So I'm excited to see what he does for what's it called? Like Slowly My Love or something along those lines. The album is going to be called. Yeah. And I'm hyped. I'm so excited.
Yeah.
Was it do backflips playing the bass or something when he walks onto shows? It's going to be great.
Yeah. Speaking of him as well, he had a show come out recently.
Atlanta.
I love it. Have you guys seen it?
No, I haven't seen it yet.
No. It looks really, really interesting because it's about him, but also as a character. It's not only, it's like the character is based on him partially.
Okay. Yeah.
But he is also sort of dramaticizing things. Like he
has described it. I think it was on Ellen's show where I saw a little clip of him as he wants to do Twin Peaks but with black people.
Wow.
Was how he phrased it. And like I get that.
I've never seen Twin Peaks.
Neither have I.
Very, very dry.
Okay.
Is what it is. I guess you can kind of loosely call Atlanta a comedy because like there's a laugh or two in every episode. There's one, the eighth one. The eighth episode was brilliant because it's just the sort of main character is Donald Glover's character's cousin, who is the rapper.
Right.
And all of episode 8 is just him on a talk show. And it's like, they're fake commercials on a talk show, the more fake commercials, and the real commercials. It got really confusing. But it was just such a beautiful like bit of TV. It was so cool. Yeah. If you got to check it out if you have any interest.
Strange that I haven't. It interested me when I saw the commercials. Also, as you said, dry humor. You normally wouldn't think that would be something that would interest someone. I love dry humor stuff. It is like my favorite form of comedy. Just like deadpanned. Like,
oh yeah, you'll love it.
Okay, guys. I know this is my show and everything, but no. No, I'm not going to leave. That'll be a Netflix binge, or it's not on Netflix yet.
No, it's on FX.
Well, I'll wait.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not buying FX for one show.
One show that's I think mostly done this season at this point.
Really? Okay, that's cool.
It's good, man.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, that's fine. So TJ.
Yes, sir.
Have you experienced sort of the culture here in Toronto as far as shows go? Have you been to many shows, as plays, concerts, or anything like that?
You know what? Recently, I haven't been to too many shows because I've been working on a lot of stuff on my own. But that's no excuse. I think there should always be time for shows. So I haven't actually experienced anything yet. But this Christmas, I'm planning on going to check out some plays at Soul Pepper, and a couple of my friends are in some plays.
That's
and
awesome.
Stuff like that. Yeah. To give back. I've had my time to sort of soak in on myself, and now I just got to give back. Have
you been in any rad projects recently or anything that you are able to talk about?
Yeah. I mean, he just finished filming Fear Thy Neighbor.
Oh.
Yeah. It's a docudrama.
Oh, that's really cool.
But it's about neighbors that actually kill each other. It's like a show. It's like one of those docudramas where it's like 2 people live beside each other for 10 years, and then something happens and they end up killing each other in a creepy way.
Wow.
Yeah, which is it's
That's really, really interesting.
So yeah, it's Fear Thy Neighbor.
Do you know any drop dates for that, or
No, you know what, I don't.
Okay, no, you know what, that might be a good thing because it just in case things change, and especially in post, things do change. So look forward to that though, because that sounds really interesting. Document dramas, I think, are underrated.
They are
because it's almost innately that it can have this creepiness to it, because you almost think that it's super, super real, right? Because it is that documentary style.
That's the benefit of having something that's grounded in reality. Like there's if you guys watched any of the most recent American Horror Story, the way they're doing it's like they're documenting trying to find this kid, basically. I don't want to like go into it for sake of ruining things, but it's like they'll do the scenes and then they'll have actors portraying the characters who are supposed to be them in those scenes. They cut interviews between the actors. It's amazing. It's so cool.
That's really cool. I actually haven't seen it, so that's something to watch out for.
And it's American Horror Story, so you don't have to watch anything else because the seasons aren't connected. So you can just drop in at any point. It's great.
No, definitely.
And it's a really scary season.
It's also it's crazy working on shows like that, because they did another one, See No Evil, and it's sort of docudrama about this girl who gets kidnapped, and there's a strange, like there's a weight to it. Like when you actually see the footage of what happened, or like it's based on a true story, you're like, this is a real story. Like this actually happened to someone, and it's sort of weightful when you're like, whoa, this is real. Like as cool as it is to recreate, there's a truth to it. It can be dramatized, but.
And when the actors are feeling that, I think it really does portray that in the movie, or in the film afterwards, because it's a serious topic, and you want to take it as seriously. You want to do as much work as possible and do it as well as possible, because you're trying to show that this is real, right? And I think that is really, really interesting and sort of unique to the documentary drama sphere. You can have dramas and other shows that sort of touch on real life things, but they're not as close and not as hand-holdy as the documentary dramas.
As long as you get that disclaimer saying that it's not based on real people or whatever, so you can sleep.
Exactly.
Like the real, I probably, maybe it's just a bad thing to bring up, like Dear Zachary, when I watched it and I couldn't sleep the rest of that night. I know I made a post about it on Facebook in February. I watched it and it shook me so hard. That's like a little too far.
That's one of those movies that I've been told so much about, but I haven't actually. Well, because someone will tell me about it. I'm like, this is what I'm doing tonight. This is what I'm doing tonight. And then it's like, oh, look, that shiny thing over there. And then I get distracted. And it totally escapes my mind.
It's the best documentary I never want to watch again.
Wow.
Shiny things always distract me though too. It's always I could be in the midst of a deep conversation, then I'll see a shiny thing and I'll come back and I'll be like, what were we talking about? Sorry. The key to the universe is what?
We'll never exclaim that notion again. You will never learn the secret of the universe.
That's unfortunate.
It's 42 anyways, right? 30, 36?
That's the answer to life and everything or whatever. I forget how it's phrased. But 42.
Okay. I wasn't sure. I always get mixed up the numbers 42 and 36 for some reason when it comes to...
Where's 36 come from?
I don't know. That's the thing.
36.
Because 42 obviously from Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
The number 36.
The number 36. Maybe it is just a movie thing, because I unlike a lot of people that we have on here, I'm not into the movie life and the film and the making of the films and directing and everything like that as much as the people that I talk to. So it is very interesting to me where everybody else sort of has this crazy amount of knowledge about things that I couldn't even dream about. Well, obviously I could if I really wanted to. But I think it's almost more interesting to myself, where I'm sort of this outsider looking in, and the stories you tell about the auditions and all these things, they're so cool, and it's just I'll probably never experience that in my lifetime, I don't think I will ever be to an audition.
Oh man, you will. We audition every day. I mean, we audition in front of people. We audition it really is networking. Just a quick story is I walked into an audition and one of the casting directors came up to me and she was talking to me I don't want to mention any names, but she came up to me and she's like, I can't believe this guy's agent is texting me right now telling me that he wants to audition for this production, but he can't be there during the shooting days. I think that's ridiculous. And she's talking to me like she knows me. And I'm like, oh, yeah, I know, that's crazy. She's like, who is this guy? And then she looks at one of the other guys and she goes, "Are you Andrew? Are you this guy?" And he's like, "No, no." And I'm like, "It's not me." And she's like, "No, you're DJ. I know who you are." And I'm like, "Okay, yeah." But
sure.
it really is just the networking is really having that personable, talking to people, because when you walk down the street, you could be auditioning for someone. You can meet someone from a radio show. You can meet someone from a production. You can be talking to a casting director. So I think it's always important to realize that we're all sort of auditioning,
Yeah, and that's very true. And like, as much as I don't say I'll be to an audition, I'm sort of not talking about Formula One specifically, but that is very true. That what you meant. We're all sort of putting our best foot forward, right?
Yeah.
And walking down the street, passing a person, you're not trying to impress them, but you don't want them to like turn their head and be like, why does that guy look like that? Sort of thing, right?
Yeah.
It's like, did he have mustard on his chin? Stuff like that. We all have those notions, I think.
Do I got mustard in my beard?
Right, and especially now that I have the facial hair, I get that a lot.
Yeah,
more.
man.
Yeah. No, that's very true. That's very insightful.
Yeah.
To say. So yeah, that's cool.
Hello, you pointed at me.
Yeah, I was just I was sort of hoping that you had somewhere to go with that, because as much as I did want to continue this conversation, I would love to talk a little bit more about you, TJ.
DJ.
You got me stuck with that DJ in the story.
Yeah. It was funny. I had no idea. Yeah, for sure. Like,
so how did you find yourself coming to Seneca?
I graduated 1-year theater program at George Brown.
Okay.
Yeah, and before that I took a 1-year general arts and science.
Wow. Okay. So you've really seen the post-secondary. Like,
that's
awesome, man.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I've always sort of been, I wouldn't say doing acting, I would say background work.
Okay.
And I've always been surrounded by the industry. Mm-hmm. So that was like my individual step to saying, I'm doing this on my own. You know what I mean? I'm going after this on my own. Mm-hmm. So, yeah. 1-year general arts and science and 1-year theater at George Brown. And then I came to Seneca because the 1-year theater was a transition program into like a more serious program. Yeah. So I auditioned for Seneca and Humber. And I got into both. And then I decided to come to Seneca.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Go Seneca.
Yeah, and I'm thankful I came to Seneca instead of Humber.
No, that's
nothing against Humber at all.
No. Yeah. We love all schools here
equally.
Like Seneca's just a little bit better. Was it sort of something that you've always had in mind? You said you worked in the backgrounds of acting.
Yeah.
But did you always sort of know that one day you wanted to get into acting? Yeah. So like an early age, you would be like, I'm going to be Johnny Depp's replacement.
Yeah. It was more like a Ninja Turtle or a Power Ranger, but yeah, Johnny Depp.
You really go for Johnny Depp in these recordings.
Well, the thing is, I don't know actors' names. I was either that or Joseph Gordon-Levitt, my favorite actor.
Yeah.
But that's about it. Yeah. No, I have a man crush on Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
I understand.
Full blown.
Yeah, I don't, but I understand the feeling.
Yeah.
A man crush? Yeah.
I don't know. There's like those roles where you just see and it's just like, damn.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody else could have played that.
I have that exact feeling. Do you watch Game of Thrones, you guys?
I've seen.
I'm not caught up.
There's a character you haven't seen yet because you're on the 3rd season. The character's name is Ramsay Snow.
Okay.
He's one of the bastard sons, whatever. But he's played by Ewan Rayon, who was in the show Misfits. Where, have you watched?
I love Misfits. Yeah.
He's Simon.
Yeah.
I think I have seen him. First of all, he's my favorite actor. Second of all, he does music, folk music. That's incredible, and I just love him so much.
He plays such a really bad
in Game of Thrones.
In Game of Thrones?
Yeah, I loved it.
See yourself censoring yourself.
Yeah.
When because I saw he came on screen, I was like, "That's awesome!" And then he played the part, and I was like, "Oh my god, that's awesome!"
Yeah,
he's so good. He was perfect for it.
It was
which I think is how I got onto him.
Yeah, almost naturally does it seem that he can bring this eeriness to him because right. It's like afterwards when he does interviews. I've seen many interviews with him. He's not a mean guy.
No,
he's a very, very nice person.
He's a Welsh gentleman,
right? Yeah. And then as soon as like the camera turns on, sorry if you heard that, but but like as soon as it turns on, like I think he must just like put himself in this space
acting,
right? Yeah,
acting,
That's awesome. Actors are cool, man. That's all I can really say about that. But overall, I think we're going to wrap it up here. TJ, thank you for coming on.
No problem, my pleasure.
You were a great guest, great interview, and I would love to have you on again.
Thanks,
and hopefully, we can promote some more stuff of yours because you're doing always amazing stuff. And if you want to sort of plug your social medias, now is the time.
Yeah, no, I mean, I don't really have anything on social media so far. Just look out for the Fear Thy Neighbor and See No Evil.
Awesome.
If you see me, just
man.
post on my Facebook. Say what's up.
There you go, man.